everybody, it's Ian the Off Kilter Crafter. I hope you're having a great day today. Today I'm using the Fangtastic Friends again because we're coming up on Halloween and y'all know it's my favorite holiday. I said this in the last video, but I love this stamp set and honestly I had some great ideas with this stamp set. So let's go ahead and see how I put today's card together. Today I'm going to be using the Fangtastic, I almost said that wrong, Fangtastic Friends from Lawn Fawn. This is the set you saw in my last video, and honestly whenever I saw this set I knew I wanted it because I had this Lawn Fawn set, Superstar, that it's got this little mouse and the little telescope in it, which I thought would be perfect for the mouse to be looking through the telescope looking at one of the bats. So that's kind of the idea that I'm running with today and we're going to be creating with today. So I'm going to go ahead and get started by creating my background first. So I'm going to go ahead and create my background. This is some just regular Recollection 65-pound cardstock. So I'm going to create my background on here. And I'm going to be using some Distress Oxides in, I think, Salty Ocean, I'm not sure, some Blueprint Sketch, some Prize Ribbon, and maybe some Black Soot, depending on what I think about it. So these are probably going to be the colors that I'm going to be using today for the background. And I'm going to go ahead and get this cut down to size so that way I'm not just like doing the whole thing for nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this down and then I'm going to start ink blending. Alright, I have gotten my background mostly completed. I'm going to use my waffle flower die to go ahead and cut this out to give me a frame like that. You'll notice I didn't finish it all the way to the bottom. That's because I'm going to be using some green paper here in just a minute to finish it out. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out and then we'll go from there. Alright, as you can see here, I've cut out my panel and now I have some green cardstock and I'm just going to kind of trace out where I want it to be, and it's not going to be exactly because remember I'm going to be using my die to trim it down a little bit, but I just want a nice kind of rolling hill a little bit. So something kind of like that. I'm actually going to refine this a little bit and then cut it out using my scissors. There we go, we kind of got the rolling hillside going on, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ink blender and I'm just going to add a little bit of Distress Oxide Black Soot just to kind of darken it up a little bit. I feel like I may have gone a little too dark with it, so I'm grabbing some Lucky Clover Distress Oxide. You can hear my table shaking, sorry about that. And I'm just going to try and lighten up at least the top area just a hair to bring back some of that color. That looks a little bit better. I'm happier with that and it brought back some of that color in. I wish I maybe would have not gone so heavy-handed with the Black Soot, but I think this will work out okay, and I think adding that Lucky Clover in helps kind of fade it a little bit and make it not so quite intense. Alright, now that I've gotten my background ready to go and my ground, I'm going to go ahead and take some tape runner and just apply some of the tape runner onto the bottom part here and just go ahead and tape it onto or glue it onto my panel. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting out all of my different images for coloring. So I'm going to be using both of these stamp sets and I'm just going to put images on here however they'll fit, and then that way I can color them and cut them out using their die cuts. To stamp these images, I'm going to be using Memento Tuxedo Black ink since I'll be using Copic markers on these images. So this is a good ink that won't interact with the alcohol markers. And I am going to be stamping a lot of these stars as well because I need a pretty fair amount, I feel like, to cover the front of the card. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp a lot of images out. Okay, I got all my images colored in. It is now time, or not colored in, I got them stamped. Now it's time to color them in. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Copic markers and do some just basic coloring. All right, I got everything cut out. It took me a little while because I had to run a few dies through several times because I needed lots of stars and the word bubbles and everything else. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and start arranging everything the way I want it here on the card, and then we'll start gluing stuff down. All right, there we go. I put the stars on. It looks great. I love how this came out. Let's go ahead and put it onto a card base. Okay, I have a piece of Nina Solar White 110-pound cardstock, and I'm going to go ahead and use my dot liner to apply adhesive onto the back. I'm using the dot adhesive because the glue tends to warp this paper in large amounts, so I'm just using my dot runner to make things a little more simple and cleaner. And this is gonna have a nice little white border on all sides. And I did that specifically because I like this kind of thin white border around all the edges. So I'm gonna put it on just like that. Okay, that's the finished outside. Let's go ahead and finish the inside. I don't usually stamp a lot of times on the inside, but I think this calls for it. So I'm gonna pull again my stamp set. And I'm gonna use the I love hanging out with you. Yeah, I love hanging out with you. I'm gonna use that one, and I'm also gonna use my Happy Halloween. I'm once again stamping with my Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and I'm doing that because the front images are stamped with this, and it just kind of, even though it's a small, minute detail, there might be a little color difference if I was to use another ink. All right, there we go. There's the inside of the card, and of course, here is the outside of the card. This is super cute. Not exactly a Halloween themed, but I think it kind of brings that kind of feel, especially adding the little pumpkin treat bucket down here. I think this is kind of more of a cutesy Halloween, which I'm not used to doing, but I really love how this one came out. So there we go. It's amazing how quickly this year is passing, and we're almost to October. It just seems like everything's flying by this year, but then again, what year doesn't feel like that? Anyways, don't forget, if you liked today's video, give me a thumbs up and let YouTube know that you liked my video. And then always, you can subscribe to my channel by clicking the red subscribe button down below and click that bell notification icon to get notified every time I go live or post a new video here on YouTube. Also, make sure to turn on those notifications on your mobile device. I hope everybody has a great day, and remember guys, normal's just a setting on the dryer. Bye!